And you also find this in animal use care committees. They're basically there to make humans feel good, not to ensure animals are safe. Anyway, so let's go to the next slide. Wow, I got to really plow through this. So anyway, even genuine welfare attempts to address and reform puppy mills are met with an existential denial that puppy mills exist. And this is in the slide, the next one actually. APHIS. APHIS is Animal Plant and Health Inspection Service. It's a division of USDA. And they put out in 2008 a fact sheet for easy reference, because everybody was asking, what's a puppy mill? And so they printed out and they explained how puppy mills are inspected. And the next day they were deluged with phone calls from lobbyists from the industry, the puppy mill industry, and all the other people in the supply chain. They withdrew the fact sheet. They have since denied that a puppy mill exists. They even deny it in informal conversations of the kind I've had with them concerning prospective rulemaking. So anyway, next slide. Historical timeline of puppy mills. So this is basically a post-World War II thing, and basically what happened in the post-World War II era is the U.S. wanted to boost its manufacturing industry, and they could only do this by keeping food prices low and switching to mechanized agriculture in a very not postmodern, in a very modernist kind of parody of the Soviet collectivism. We had corporatism. And the small farmers were squeezed, and the USDA said, breed puppies, earn some extra money, because we're not going to subsidize you. So this is basically government acting to start this industry, and they didn't care anything about the social costs. Legitimate puppy mills versus legit breeders versus puppy mills. I'm going to click through this. I don't want to have this discussion. Different ideas on dog breeding. Basically here, I'll summarize this because this is pretty theory heavy. PETA says companion animals should not exist, dogs should not be bred because they are subject to cruelty. This is closest to my view. I say companion animals should not exist because they're an artificial genetic construct, and they, by and large, consume other animals, and they are subject to human instrumentality. They're not treated as subjects, so they shouldn't exist under present conditions. There are hypothetical scenarios where they could exist, in my view, but I won't go into this. Gary Francione says animals should never be owned, and they all have the right. The only right they have is to be left alone by humans. This is the abolitionist view. Donna Haraway from UC Santa Cruz, she wrote, the post-humanist relationship between humans and dogs should be renegotiated. It works if the dog is fulfilled as a non-equal partner, and this is implicitly, she's been critiqued by this, for implicitly including species as in non-equal. To me, it's a sort of, abstract point. You wouldn't want your dog to drive a car, so of course the situation is unequal. And there's also the Rousseau-like social contract. It can't really be put into two lines, but wolves accepted human domination 15 to 30 years ago. 8 years ago in exchange for food, shelter, and security and reproduction. So you have a biopolitical element to this. So what is this slide? Why a problem with puppy mills? I don't know. Let's go to the next slide and see. Okay, because lots of puppies are bred. There are all sorts of environmental cruelty issues depending how you feel about animals. They consume other animals. Lots of cows and everything are raised, and lots of fish too. That's what most puppy food is. So you're raising animals that consume other animals. I do know a few vegan dogs, but in general that's not the case. And so this raises some issues that I'd like you all to think about, but I can't discuss right now. From a CAS perspective, are these all the problems? Are there others? Is breeding always wrong? Why does Haraway feel breeding should be allowed, if any of you are reading Haraway? So going to the next thing, where are puppy mills located? Lancaster County, PA. I don't know why there are so many there. It's basically Amish breeders, and actually Amish breeders with Asian money these days, so it's a real global supply chain. So anyway, what I'd like to point out is that I don't know if any of you are concerned with globalization and globalism. I'm a member of Global Justice for Animal and Environment. I'm on the board of that. And one of the things we're against is the TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership, a so-called free trade agreement being pushed through right now. It's been fast-tracked by President Obama after being started by President Bush, so no difference there. There's a 6-month rule. You can't import puppies under 6 months of age from another country. This is not enforced. But under the TPP and NAFTA and all draft uniform free trade agreements, Article 17, the business harm rule, as it's called, allows a foreign corporation to sue a municipality or the U.S. government for loss of profit in the event that a law of the U.S. causes economic loss. Wow. So we're trading away, sovereignty for the limited control we have over critters in the U.S. for welfarist purposes. And so if somebody from another country wants to sue and say, I should be able to import 6-week-old puppies or 6-day-old puppies, and you're harming my profits, they can sue and win in a U.S. court. There's only been one test case on this, not in the animal context, in the oil and environmental context so far, but that's what the law says. I'm not making this up. Anyway, next slide says, this is the USDA APHIS logo. We can skip that. What laws govern puppy mills? Morgan talked about the Animal Welfare Act and the Animal Welfare Act regulations made promulgated by APHIS. That's another story. I'm actually drafting some to close the internet sales loophole that currently exists. And I was told in a meeting in early January that it will take approximately 10 years to close the internet loophole. And I said and this is all off the record, I said to the USDA, but I drafted the proposed rule, here it is, why 10 years? And they said they have to study it and so forth, and it just takes a while. So, wow, this is something new for even me. Government is basically there to enable the current status quo, but that should be no surprise, but it was for me. So anyway, what laws govern puppy mills? We've done that. I'm just going to click through these. You're not law students. Maybe if you will be, we can talk about it. The one I will stop on is